Please stay tuned following this presentation for previews of other Barney home videos.
Insert cache or select.
Barney invented the phenomenon of post-credit scenes and told you beforehand that there was finna be one. Growing up, nothing excited me more than popping in a Barney VHS tape from the 90s and the first thing that came up being this screen right here. Okay, I mean, actually the first thing that would come up would of course be that FBI warning that was like, look dude, literally I'm not even joking, don't you dare even think about copying this VHS tape onto anything and selling it because you will literally go to jail. Like, go ahead and do it. Do it if you want. Do it if you want, see what happens. And then you'd get this screen.
Please stay tuned following this presentation for previews of other Barney home videos.
A wonderful experience, like a revelation. And it was almost as if it was deja vu.
Hearing the lady say this gave me little tinglies, especially considering there'd be no other music or noise playing in the background outside of the like static of your VHS that would never stop.
Barney home videos.
Wow, dude, Barney invented both post-credit scenes and ASMR. Wow, 2 cakes. Originally, you'd get this back when Barney first started, with Barney and the Backyard Gang.
You're lying! No, I'm not lying!
The video would end and Barney would come on and you'd be like, wait, you didn't look like that in the video, bro. What is going on, dude?
Hey, everyone! I hope you enjoyed the show.
You're lying!
They'd show clips from the other tapes in the series, and sometimes before some of the sound mixing would be completed. So for instance, here's the start of the Santa rap from Waiting for Santa. And then here's the one from the end previews. These were fine, but the Backyard Gang was so primitive that a lot of the time the previews had this weird, almost ominous vibe to them. Like, I don't know if that's because of the aesthetic or because they unapologetically just showed you footage of Barney when he looked drastically different than the tape you just watched him on.
All together and you take a big bite.
But they got the job done, and despite me being initially terrified of Barney during this period, they at least got me excited to see how many other videos they'd made at the time. Then around the time of season 2 and 3 of Barney and Friends being on the air, they'd start really releasing VHS tapes of the TV show episodes, which brought about this now nostalgic screen.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's doing it!
At the end of the video, you'd be shown the Barney Home Video logo, followed by a few different VHS previews, one after another, each being highlighted individually.
When Stella opens her magic bag, Barney and his friends use Stella's props to bring everyone's favorite stories to life.
Growing up, I feel like I almost memorized all of these with how they were structured.
A family is people and a family is love. That's our family.
It was fascinating because the daycare I grew up in had certain tapes from the Lions era, but strangely, the tapes shown in the previews were specifically the ones that we just didn't have. So every time they'd come on, I was locked in.
Tasha shares exciting news of a new birth in her family with Barney and his friends, but there's even more to her story.
You're important, so you really are. You're the only one of you.
Seeing previews for Barney's talent show and being like, whoa, dude.
We can have a
Set the stage, light the lights for an all-new home video, Barney's Talent Show.
And then watching it as an adult, like 20 years later, and seeing it as one of the most boring outings in Barney's entire catalog. Like, what kind of wonder was I experiencing back then? This is what really clued me into Barney Live in New York City, a home video from 1994 documenting the Radio City Music Hall live show.
And even a few special surprises. Come along and join the fun in Barney Live in New York City.
Everything just felt so grand. Like, I really felt like I was missing out on something, and being that young, it almost feels as though you'll never get to see these adventures. Being without easy internet in the early 2000s gave the impression that these videos just sort of existed, but never for you yourself to be experiencing in full. Like, how would I specifically be able to view this? For some reason, my little brain couldn't comprehend that this was a video that you could buy. I thought it was just something they were showing me, being like, oh look, this is something that Barney did and like already happened. You can't, he already did it. You messed out, dude. I will say they got real bold at one point showing Barney from the Backyard Gang as a preview in 1995 after like riding in Barney's car.
And please don't forget, this is your last opportunity to own this Barney classic.
You're lying! No, I'm not
You're lying!
Like, you guys know he don't look nothing like this no more, right? Okay, but whatever, I guess. Christmas is selling like hotcakes, and Lord, y'all didn't even put the right Barney on the cover. It was such a different time, where the only real way as a kid that you'd hear that Barney had cool things happening was by watching Barney. They said, hey, you know, we just put out a clip show compilation, dude? Wow. Barney said, look, now just go to HEDGE on Stage on YouTube. They got like 1 million of them. I didn't intend on this video being super long. I just wanted to reminisce on this because it always makes me happy thinking about it. I don't know. Do you guys have like fond memories of this too? I don't know how I made an entire video about this, but like this is a part of my childhood that I think about a lot just because it's so uniquely Barney. And I don't know, just the Barney aesthetic with this as well paired really well. And it's just a nice piece of my childhood that I wanted to share.
In his or her own way.
Isn't this really great? See?
Barney's Magical Musical Adventure is a home video only enjoyed by us true Barney connoisseurs. Can I get y'all to sound off in the comments one time? Sip a little something out the right hand. It released in a very weird spot in 1992 as a JCPenney's exclusive. You guys remember JCPenney's?
You observe, what is it about Barney that makes him so hot, makes him so attractive?
Right after the first season of Barney and Friends had finished airing its initial run. In fact, season 2 wouldn't go into production until the next year. When I say weird spot, I more so mean in its aesthetic and presentation. This was the first home video released after Barney hit television, which means it's the first tape put out since Barney and the Backyard Gang ended. So we're already seeing some identity confusion happening.
See?
The original box art for this video has the full package layout of the Backyard Gang, which means if you have it on your shelf, it's going to stick out in a really odd way. And another thing is the opening itself. The video as a whole is amazing, but everything else outside of it felt rushed. Like, the intro for some reason brings up the brand new Barney Home Video logo graphic, but with the Barney and Friends theme already running behind it, instead of the Barney and Friends animatic you'd be expecting, and you're just looking around like, wait, was I supposed to see that? And it peels away to show the full season 1 intro like nothing even happened. Now, of course, this technically isn't unheard of for Barney at this point. Backyard Gang had been doing this even when new costumes were brought out. But growing up in an age where the Barney Home Videos had already adopted the concept of changing the opening visuals to reflect whatever new special you were watching, this massively threw me off.
It's Barney.
And Minnie.
I love the idea for this video. We immediately are in a backyard with a gang, who, by the way, is pretty much just the original Backyard Gang cast, just with men. This video scratches my itch, dude.
I wish we could visit a real castle sometime.
Me too.
And this is your lucky day!
I think some people are eavesdropping!
Well, how rude! I'm so—
Barney shows up and offers them a way to see a real royal castle after hearing them playing pretend, and we get the first performance of Castle So High.
Castle so high, up to the sky. I know that I would love to go there.
Truly one of the greatest songs in the franchise, and I will hear nothing less. This is one of those songs where just the idea of skipping it in any way should get you thrown in jail. It's so pretty, and Imagination Island only made it better for me. If you know, you know.
Up to the sky, wouldn't you love to go to?
As they use their imaginations, they end up in a foresty area outside of Derek's gate. Now, Barney has had its fair share of "we're in a jungle now" situations where it's a soundstage that just has trees and stuff, but here it feels a lot more vibrant, and I've always enjoyed this big shot of where they are in the background looking as lush and open as it is. It's so beautiful looking.
See?
At a point in this video, we get the famed time-lapse that the Lions group loved so much, bro. You just know anytime they got to speed up some footage, someone in the editing room was like, yeah, let's go.
Oh, no, you don't. I say you won't.
Get out of my way, move!
They make friends with a lonely elf named Twinkle. They sing songs, and we never see her again for the rest of the franchise, the end. For all we know, she could be chilling with Moonkin for all of eternity. And what was his name? Farmer Earl? Jason Earls from Three Wishes. These are such pretty shots, dude. What on earth?
I call it bold and bright. More like
Barney's Magical Musical Adventure. Barney's gotten a bit better at padding for time since the start of season 1. We all know I've had my grievances with that. Look, they need a reason to play around before the castle opens, so they imagine they have horses like the people inside and start messing around and playing with the play horses.
The gate is open!
One thing I haven't mentioned yet is how the cast seem like they're genuinely just having a great time. Like, this is less of a job playing characters and more like they're just at a daycare. It really adds to the authentic pretend session they're having. Once the castle opens, they go in and chat with the king, who of course already knows Barney.
The king and I have been friends for a long time.
Ever since I was just a little prince.
Always been fascinated by this running thing the show has done where adults know of Barney, not because the production forgot that he's not just supposed to be seen by everyone, but because that adult grew up with their own Barney plush, assumably, when they were little. So when the kids are playing pretend with him, they understand it and in a way pretend like he's also there too. It's a lovely concept and something more thoroughly grasped in the early years compared to the latter. And also just the fact that the king knows each of the kids' names because Barney has told him all about them.
Barney's told me all about every one of you.
Like, Barney loves them so much, he's gotta tell his friends about them. Is that not the cutest thing you ever heard in your life? Because the king wishes to go fishing, Barney and the backyard gang watch over his castle while he's gone. And of course, they sing Old King Cole, and you know, I think them having that song played twice in the show's first episode for like 2 full minutes has been enough listens for me for a lifetime, to where anytime I hear it now, I'm just expecting them to loop it like twice. I'm like, no thanks dude, I'm good, I already ate. This is the last time on new official video that we see monstrously tall Baby Bop before they gave her the shrinking potion, and I honestly do not miss this costume. I know y'all see that Marie Callender's chicken pot pie, boy. They actually get a lot of mileage out of the castle setting and pretending to be part of the royal establishment, because a lot of time is spent here after the king goes fishing. A lot more time than I initially remembered, actually.
Thanks for letting us visit.
You are welcome.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Farewell, friends.
This is nothing super special, but when they open the castle door and it cuts back to Derek's fence, it was so satisfying. Like, I don't know why, there wasn't even a transition there, but something about it just felt really nice. We get a reprise of Castle So High, now called It's Good to Be Home, and this is part of what made this a top 5 song to me.
Wherever I go, I always know my home is a castle to me.
The cast feels so connected with each other in this video, unlike really anything that came before it, likely due to how long they've been around each other at this point. And Magical Musical carries the vibe of the Backyard Gang era videos to a T. An extravagant adventure, good set design, and returning back home at the end. Only thing that would have really sold it for me would have been hiding Barney from Derek's mom or something, but that of course had been abandoned when Barney hit PBS. The spirit of this home video is evergreen, and just thinking about it always makes me smile. This really was the start of the golden era for Barney. Season 1 had already started off a little rocky, but like it was gaining its footing. Magical Musical Adventure, I feel, really stepped it up to where just about anything that would come out after it for the next few years was basically cemented in gold. It's a home video that doesn't get talked about all that much just because it just sort of exists. There was no real rhyme or reason for it, but it's truly a classic.
Wherever I go, I always know my home is a castle to me.
Champion of the year!
Look, when you ask someone what their top 5 Barney home videos are, if Imagination Island is not one of them, I think that's when you know there's a serious problem.
Children love Barney.
You're lying. No, I'm not
You're
lying.
We're going to Imagination Island.
This is peak entertainment no matter what's going on, and it's basically evergreen. It aired prime time on NBC in 1994 at the height of Barney's popularity, and it's incredible how well it's held up over the years.
And every child in the whole town knew that.
Yes!
First of all, we got a good cast already, starting off at home with Tasha and Min, the GOAT. Hit a 2-step for me real quick. Min and Tasha are having a sleepover and are finishing a book called Imagination Island.
Sky turned dark and spooky.
I'm not gonna lie to you, and everything I've seen Barney, which is my whole life in the full series, that's probably the scariest they've ever gotten the music to sound, and that's crazy.
Oh no, said the children. It's a storm.
I gotta get out of here.
Barney?
That's me.
This is one of the cutest Barney moments, dude. He appears partially because he was terrified.
Barney, you're not afraid of thunder, are you?
Oh, not me.
Then why are your toes shaking?
It's none of your business.
But also to relay that he can take them to Imagination Island just through their, well, imagination.
You can do anything if you just imagine. Just imagine.
We get the debut of Just Imagine, one of the franchise's pillar tracks, and it's really amazing how well this song has stood the test of time. There's maybe 5 tracks in the Barney franchise that I can say perfectly exemplify what Barney is all about, and this is right up there with Friends Are Forever and I Love You. The choreography is also very pretty in this segment. I've always loved it a lot.
Imagination's fun for you and
Nice.
All of those toy sales from 1993 culminated in one of the most beautiful Barney adventures that the series has ever taken. The presentation is gorgeous for what it is. A staircase appearing out of Tasha's closet.
After you, Barney.
Here I go.
Leading to this huge ship, everyone fitted with pirate costumes, and BJ with one of the ugliest looking character suits of all time.
This is disgusting. This really is. It is, this is completely disgusting.
We even get more of the cast from Barney and Friends. Derek and We All Are Sean.
We all are.
And of course Baby Bop too.
I want my blanket.
Give it to me! No! Let me see!
What's interesting is beforehand we mostly had the Backyard Gang for adventures like this, but this special bridges thing, making it mostly just the Barney and Friends cast specifically. And I mean, good for him, because the Backyard Gang cast was definitely getting up there. I mean, look at Michael in season 2, grown man by the way. Look at the little details and things happening in the background. It's usually Baby Bop that's doing these little just whatevers, like interacting with people. It's fun.
We really know we're ready to go, 'cause now we all are here.
Anyway, a storm hits again, and Baby Bop crashes the boat into a tree. We're on the island now at the very least, and we get another costume change.
Look what I found. Cocoa nuts.
These nuts!
This place is called an island and it's plain to see. It's got an ocean and a beach and greenery.
The music in this special is so well crafted. A lot of firsts.
It's a little bit of ground with water all around. A mountain in the middle and a jungly sound.
Shout out to Penny Wilson, the choreographer for the Barney series for many years. She knew what she was doing. May she rest easy.
That's what an island is.
Since the boat got stuck, they all start exploring the jungle to find someone to help them, and they end up at a strange house.
This looks like a doorbell. Well, here we go.
Insert cash or select payment type.
I guess it's one of those do-it-yourself things.
Are you a dinosaur, sir?
That's right.
I miss when people reacted to the fact that Barney is a dinosaur instead of just him existing like a human.
Me. My name is none of your business.
This is Professor Tinkerput, and he lives alone in a house filled with toys he built all for himself. He's played by Barry Pearl and is one of the series' greatest characters. He's so filled with life.
Tasha.
Enchanted.
Barney.
Amazed.
I want to highlight something real quick. Someone in a Barney Facebook group recently pointed out this musical sting that composer Bob Singleton played a lot during the early years of Barney whenever someone is giving insight or helpful information, and it plays here as well.
Tinkerput.
Oh, a professor is somebody who is very smart.
True, yes.
Yes. And you can only see it by using your imagination.
Miss your friends, Kenneth. But it's fun to go new places and make new friends.
Puppies need lots of love and attention. And if he stayed at school, he'd have to be all alone all night.
It's just so pretty, and I wanted to bring it up.
These toys are mine, so please don't touch.
This man Tinkerput talking about he made all these toys and he just got that little plaything you see at the dentist's waiting room. Bro, you not slick. Credit the artist. His gimmick is he doesn't want to share any of his toys with anyone. He had an airplane, but broke it apart because he didn't want to leave the island and made his toys out of the airplane parts. Once he hears of Barney and Friends' ship being stuck, he offers to help, but says he can't because his balloon blowing machine is broken.
Professor, maybe if you used your imagination...
Barney, I have used my imagination.
He can't figure out what's wrong with it and feels distraught. And noticing this, Tasha decides to use her special necklace from the beginning of the special to fix the machine, putting it in a spot that will continue its rotation.
Thank you, Tasha. And thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
What's great about this moment is that it not only opens up Tinkerput to the idea of sharing, but Barney's insistence on him using his imagination would have helped him to see what he was missing, and Tasha being with Barney and the others for as long as she has, knew imagination and that concept best, and it all gets driven home so beautifully.
Why did Tasha share with me when I wouldn't share my toys with any of you?
Tasha remembered something that you forgot. When you share, you make someone else happy. And that's the most important thing anyone can make.
Tasha reminds me most of Tina in this moment. She and Tina carry a similar weight in the franchise, to me, almost seeming like main characters to a point. And Tasha using her imagination to help others, and or just having a deep, caring fondness for those with a kind heart, is very reminiscent of Tina in this special, and it really drove it home with what she did here for Tinkerput.
I want to try to share. Would you play with this toy, please? Does it make you happy?
Yep.
Well, and that makes me happy.
I just know there had to have been a take where Barry Pearl slammed into that wall, bro. He came in so fast. With the balloon machine back up to speed, Tinkerput allows the friends to tinker with his creations. Play a rendition of If You're Happy and You Know It with Little Black in it.
If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet.
And then prepare to sail off with balloons attached to the ship to lift it out of the tree.
It looks like your balloon machine is working perfectly, Professor.
It is.
Tinkerput decides to leave the island so he can make and share new toys across the world, thanks to Barney and Friends.
Who could have imagined that one day I'd sail on a flying ship?
I think I know who could have imagined it.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Just imagine.
This moment always gives me chills, dude. This entire adventure being led by Barney, impactful to everyone while happening deep in their imaginations. I love it. Tinkerput gives Tasha her necklace back in such a sweet moment, and the day falls to night.
I'll always remember this necklace and all your wonderful friends.
And we'll always remember you, Professor Tinkerput.
Imagination's fun for you and me.
At the time, there was a lawsuit, and the Lions Group felt it was best avoiding using the song I Love You until it was settled.
It's good to be home. I'm never alone. When I've got my own good friends beside me.
So instead, we get a redone version of It's Good to Be Home, a song so pretty it made it into my top 5 for the entire series.
Special to me. Remember, I love you.
One detail I love a lot is that when Min and Tasha return home, Barney is left exactly where he was before he came to life. It's little things like that that matter to me. There is nothing about this home video that falters. The presentation, the music, the casting, everything about Barney's Imagination Island holds up even 30 plus years later. This is why I mention it being evergreen. Everything happens for a reason, and it carries the vibe of Barney and the Backyard Gang despite how far removed the franchise had gotten from it at that time. Barney's roots were well intact and made Imagination Island so incredibly special. Happy birthday, Barney.
Alexander, Amanda, Austin, Autistic Disney, Chaco, Daniel, Emilia, Gwen, Helen, Ian, Jake, Luke, Manny, Matt, Prima Donna, Thomas.